Hi guys, in this show we'll be looking at Purcell, Pertwee, Harbour, Bean, McFadden, Diggs, Watson and Bale. We're looking to address the balance in 2002's Equilibrium.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 100 Things We Learned from Film. We are back with Back to the Future with a dystopian future which may or may not be the real world that we are living in today. My name's Planty and with me as always is...
The comic relief that is John.
He's fast, he's funny, he's John. He's the reason people tune in. Fast, funny face. I'll be B.A. Baracus and you can be Face.
I was going to say Mad Screaming Mad Dog Murdoch.
Okay, all right. Well, he was not a handsome man.
Well,
we all need a George Papard.
What is it to say? Is it looks fade, but jokes are forever?
Mate, I'm forever a joke, if that's what you mean. What we talk about this week, Big Man.
So we're looking at 2002's Equilibrium, very underrated film.
10 years old? 20 years old, 10 years old. Fucking hell, how old am I?
Jesus, yeah.
20 years old.
Yeah, and in fact, 2002, was it Rain of Fire he had out as well?
Oh, man, Rain of Fire's fun.
With Matthew McConaughey?
It is Matthew McConaughey with that big beard. Big bushy beard.
Big
bushy beard. That's a lot of fun. I went to the cinema to see that. But the poster lied, didn't it? The poster showed tons of fucking dragons attacking London, and there was one.
There was only one. There was one.
Just one dragon.
Wasn't even voiced by Sean Connery. Rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
What a load of old shite. We're the podcast, of course, that tries to learn 100 things from the film that we have watched. John's made a list of things. I've made a list of things, and we're going to rattle them off as we go through the film. Spoilers abound, and very not safe for work stuff. I'm going to start saying that. Very not safe for work stuff.
Not safe.
2002, though, you'd mentioned the dragons. What else could we have been talking about this year?
Yeah, so there was another underrated film which I like, Guy Pearce, The Time Machine.
Oh, and I've mentioned this to you before, I always think about that shot of the moon with a big chunk out of it.
Yeah.
I always think of that. Orlando Jones, by the way.
Orlando Jones, that's right, he's a librarian. Yeah, that takes
Samantha Mumba. Samantha Mumba.
That's right, Jesus Christ. We've got Scooby-Doo the movie, obviously.
It's not as bad as they make out. That second one's much better.
It really is, isn't it?
The second one's good.
Hot Chicks, Road to Perdition.
Hot Chicks Road to Perdition sounds like the film we needed. The film we needed.
Where They Die Another Day, which was another film.
Mince.
Mr. Deeds and Bend It Like Beckham.
Oh, previous episode. Bend It Like Beckham.
Thunderpants, which was Rupert Grint's.
Rupert Grint, yeah.
Only other swearing into another film.
Was he not in a music video for that concave faced ginger twat?
That's who he was. Yeah, so he was. And Lord Day Rings The Two Towers.
Okay, that's not my favourite one. My favourite one's still the first one, but you know me, I love an origin story.
Yeah. I love watching Viggo Mortensen kicking that was it the helmet or something like that was stuck on and he broke his foot.
Yeah. That's a fact for when we do that one. Don't tell anybody you threw me. Absolutely. Anyway.
Oh, we've got a link here, haven't we, with the old Sheen Bean?
Oh, so it is, yeah. So it is.
Sheen Bean.
Oh, Sheen Bean in this one. You're going to like what I've got planned for you today, John.
Oh, no.
Sean Bean related. It's going to be a lot of fun. Right, okay. Let's get beginning. We open with the title cards for Miramax and Dimension Films. Miramax, we know who they are. We're not going to talk about Miramax because it's Weinstein, right? And I don't want to give him any more time than he fucking gets. And we've kind of talked about them. Dimension Films, however, was a Weinstein label in those bad old days. It's been around since 1992 and is now owned by Paramount.
All right, okay.
Nice to find out. Big films. Do you remember any particularly big Dimension films, John?
Was Hellraiser no Dimension?
Hellraiser, all the Hellraiser 3s onwards. Yeah. Hellraiser 3 is brilliant. It's the one with the guy that never stops smoking throughout the whole film.
That's right, Jesus Christ.
The Crow, John, previous episode.
Oh, The Crow, yeah.
All the Scream films.
Yeah.
and Jay and Silent Bob. The Crow, City of Angels, which I think is that Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan film. I might have convoluted a couple of films there.
All I remember is Vincent Perez just kicking about acting all French, and I'm thinking to myself, what? To get a French guy in the City of Angels? What the fuck?
And easily future episode, The Faculty.
Oh,
I
God,
love
without
that film.
Without a doubt. Josh Hartnett, Elijah
he was
Wood,
such a pretty boy, wasn't
the
he?
whole thing with the hair sticking out the back of his head.
Yeah.
What was that all about?
And the stuff that he made people snort, and it was just like broken down dextrose tablets.
And a pen. Salma Hayek.
Oh man, Foxy. Anyway. The director of this one, by the way, is apparently this guy called Kurt Wimmer, right? Mm-hmm. Boy, this guy's CV fucking stinks. Oh, Jesus. It is like a trawler, mate, on a morning. It is bad. Wrote and directed Ultraviolet.
Jeez,
Your face.
That went down like a lead balloon, didn't it? It had so much hype and it was rotten.
He wrote the remakes of Total Recall, The Train Through the Middle of the Earth.
Yeah.
And Point Break. That Point Break remake.
Oh, God, yeah. I thought you meant the original. I was like,
no, not the original.
The remake was...
Oh, it's me, Crazy Gary Busey. No, not that one. He also wrote Law-Abiding Citizen and Salt.
Right, okay.
I think that Law-Abiding Citizen film is maybe one I could give another go. It might be an episode.
That's the only one I liked. That was the only one I liked.
I got a real soft spot for the old Glaswegian Gerard. I love the fact that they call him Gerard Butler. Who? Who's Gerard?
Jerry.
It's Jerry Butler. I like Jerry. And apparently he directed a 2020 version of Children of the Corn, which I didn't know existed.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to look that out because I love Children of the Corn.
That was perfection, wasn't it? As soon as you seen Linda Hamilton, it was like, oh, is it going to be good?
Yeah, absolutely. But just before we get into the film, got one more on this, right? Mm. Everybody goes on about what a famous flop this is, all right?
Right, okay.
Now, it made $5 million worldwide from a $20 million budget.
Oh, God, right, okay.
Right? But that's not the full story. And I went down... I'd heard about this system, but I didn't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. Apparently, it made its money back on pre-sale distribution. Now, listeners that know a lot about film, because we're just two blokes who like film. We don't pretend to know anything about film. We just like film, and we like trying to make people laugh, right? That's what this podcast is. Pre-sale distribution means that a distributor agrees to finance the completed works to the tune of whatever the budget is that's used, or to the tune of the pre-agreed budget, and that whoever creates it, the filmmakers, make the money back. So it made its money, but nothing else.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So someone somewhere lost a lot of money, but it wasn't Dimension Films. Isn't that fun? Isn't that interesting?
Interesting, yeah.
Fantastic kind of glimpse into like the real world of Hollywood.
Exactly.
Yeah. So once they'd done that, and they knew there was enough money, they pulled all the advertising. There was no advertising for this film, almost no advertising for this film, and it was only shown in a really select number of theaters across the US.
Wow!
So
Jesus.
that's the situation. That's where and I mean it sounds like they're just burying it, doesn't it? It just sounds like they've buried it, which is a shit way to do it.
They must have run out of money somewhere, because towards the end, when there's a lot going on, I know I mentioned about, but there's a lot of dust. I don't know if you noticed it.
Yes.
You see the dust, but they were going to CGI blood particles onto that.
Oh right, okay.
Because I was like, why is there dust everywhere? Because it didn't even look like blood, but it was apparently dust, so they could sort of put CGI on the end, but they didn't run out of money.
All right, okay, nice one. Right, there's an opening kind of narration bit by Sean Pertwee.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. I've met him and his dad, not at the same time, of course. I met Wurzel Gummidge at my town fair once, and Sean Pertwee once apologised to me for Harry Enfield dropping a battery pack on my foot on a train. Yeah, and he was dressed as like a World War I soldier. I had absolutely no idea. They got on at Chesterfield and they were at Derby, and I had no idea what he was dressed as at all, what it was. And it took me years to find out. Apparently, he plays a character called the Soldier in a flashback or a ghost of an episode of Skins. You know, the Channel 4 kind of teen thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never watched it. I'd fallen off by kind of the second, third series.
I watched the first season.
Yeah. Good, some good actors in that. Eh? Big
They
Hollywood
went on
actors
a
now.
lot.
Big Hollywood
They went on a because it was about a boy, wasn't it? That Nick Holt or something.
Yeah, the lassie was in those Divergent films, I think.
Yeah,
and the Asian kid went on to be Millionaire.
Yeah, but he was also in that. He was also in that Chappie, wasn't he?
Oh, is he in that? Oh no, he's not the Richard Parker kid, is he? Out of Life of Pi. No, okay. That was fucking true. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that.
Yeah.
So this opening chat, in the first years of the 21st century, a third world war broke out. We wish. Those of us who survived knew mankind could never survive a fourth, that our own volatile natures could simply no longer be risked. So we've created a new arm of the law, the Grammaton Cleric, whose sole task is to seek out and eradicate the true sources of man's inhumanity to man, its ability to feel. Whoa! Yes. So we don't have any feelings in the future.
No feels. Not feels.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Sounds like my ex. Anyway. Right, few things here. Because they're firing through all of these different kind of images as this goes on.
Yeah.
One of them is Tiananmen Square, right? You know the boy in front of the tanks in Tiananmen Square with the carrier bag, right?
Yeah.
Tiananmen means gate of heavenly peace. The gate itself was built in 1415 and was destroyed by the Qing dynasty in the 17th century. The square was built in 1615 and made 4 times bigger in 1950. So fuck your houses, we're putting the square here. The famous footage of the man with the carrier bag in front of the tanks is 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre. This isn't fun, by the way. The government says 300 deaths. The Chinese Red Cross claimed 2,600 until they were silenced by the Communist Party. Classic Chinese Communist Party.
Wow, Jesus.
What kind of bag do you think he was holding, John? What shopping bag do you think he was holding?
Oh, God, it's got to be Presto's, isn't it? It's got to be Presto's.
I thought Quick Save, so you're not a million miles away. Presto.
Presto's.
Jesus.
Takes you back, yeah?
That's a reference to nobody. It's Scott Mid. 23rd January 2001, day after my 21st birthday, 5 members of the Falun Gong religious movement allegedly set themselves on fire in the square. But the West debates still today whether they were members of the Falun Gong at all, as the religion is supposed to be opposed to suicide and violence. Classic Chinese Communist Party, that, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
They just keep at it.
This isn't a fact, but one of my old boss, his wife is Chinese, and she was handing out bottles when she was younger, handing out bottles of water in Tiananmen Square.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we were talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, me and my mum would go about giving people water and stuff like that when it was all kicking off."
Fantastic! Good on them. Yeah, absolutely. Good. Lucky they got away with that.
I know that. Yeah.
We see an image of Stalin. You know him. Nice tash. He sent 3 million people to the Gulag for opposing him and communism, and killed more than 750,000. I mean, nice. Not great, but he did. He did beat Hitler, so I guess he's got that going for him. Yeah,
and it's slightly larger than the kill count in this movie.
Yeah. On the subject of bastards, the next bloke up on the screen, Saddam Hussein.
Fucking hell.
Now, it's estimated he's responsible for the deaths of between 250 and 300,000 people, including the Kurdish genocide in 1988, which I didn't know anything about. He was hung in 2006 at the age of 69, Latif, which is Arabic for nice. See, right. I'm adding that to the list of things I've learned.
Nice, Latif. Right?
But where was he hanged? Camp Justice.
Wow.
Camp Justice. No America, bad America, get in your bed. You have got to be better at naming stuff and allowing women to have rights. You fucking assholes.
For freedom.
Camp Justice. Oh, Camp Justice. Anyway, that's the film starting. Shh, John, the film's starting. Put your phone away. Right, the police are raiding this building, right, which just looks like an office building they're about to blow up, or in Burmese or somewhere like that. Yeah. It's quite blatantly filmed on the South Bank. They've all got automatic weapons, and the cops have got riot gear. Now, I was reading that this is meant to be set in 2070 something, right? Some of these weapons looked very early 2000s, didn't they?
Yeah. There's no futurism about it. I mean, I've got some of them here, but a lot of them like Glock 17, the Beretta. So they used Berettas, but the rifles themselves, they were all the ones that we have been over before. So there's nothing new or nothing.
Okay.
I'm trying to even look. So I've looked at. There's a lot of them. Some machine guns, Heckler and Glock, micro Uzi, IMI, mini Uzi. We've had all these. Scorpion, but yeah, there was nothing in here. Rifles, Glock, no, and M16. Yeah, there's nothing.
Nothing that looked.
Nothing.
Yeah, that's fair, and that's your job on the podcast. Here's Christian Bale. Now, I'm going to call it now. I think Christian Bale is our greatest actor, greatest British actor of this generation.
Yeah, he's definitely.
And he's a Celt, so you got to love him.
Yeah, and he's getting a lot of praise for the new the new Thor movie.
The new Thor movie. Yeah, is that out this week as we record?
Or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No, I agree with you there. Apart from some of these tiffs he had in the Terminator Salvation.
I mean the guy's a fucking prick, but he's an artist, isn't he? So it is what it is. Love the fighter. I'd love to do the fighter one day, John. Actually, I don't know if you've seen that.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but it's got Mark Wahlberg in, so I'd probably go into a massive fucking meltdown.
You're going to rant, wouldn't you?
About racists. Mate. Anyway, his character's called John Preston, which is more than just a town. He turns up with Sean Bean, who's called Partridge. They tell the riot cops to blow the bulbs, right? And I loved this. I thought this was really smart.
Really set good. Piece. Yep.
So he's going to kick he's going to kick the door down. You're only supposed to kick the fucking door off. Kicks through the door and slides on it like he's on a surfboard. Surf's up, dudes!
Right into the middle of the action.
In the middle of it, in the darkness. And you can hear all these voices. Where is he? I can't see him. He's like really, really gruff British kind of.
He's up those apples and pears.
I can't see anything shining off his Pearly King outfit at all. And the only thing you see is the firing of the guns. Like the whole thing is lit by the firing of the guns. It's great.
Have you seen the Batman?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
So that scene where he's in the hall, where it shows the fire shots of practical effects. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, it's robbed this.
Aye, really, it really is.
And until we find out what film this robbed it off of, we don't know. Listeners tell us. I'm sure it's something German and fantastic. So he gets the lot of them. It's really awesome. They locate this stash of paintings under the floor. Like he's just kind of like he's doing it by sense of smell or something, isn't he? He's got some sort of EP. Yeah, he's brilliant.
ESPN.
I was going to say EPC then. Don't work in property anymore. And then it's under that rug, and they lift the rug up, and this bit of floor just comes up, no bother, to do one piece.
One piece, but in 16 sections or something. Isn't it?
Looks like the fucking Necronomicon's below it or something. One of the paintings they find is the Mona Lisa, John.
Of course it is.
It's always the Mona Lisa, isn't it?
You got any facts on that?
Oh, mate, I've got a ton. What you got?
I'll fill in the gaps. I know you've got loads. But it's believed to be worth more than 850 million. Yeah. It may be unfinished. So these are just, some of them are speculation. It was once believed to be a self-portrait. It once hung in Napoleon's bedroom. It was stolen in 1911. I know you probably got facts on that. Pablo Picasso was one of the suspects of the theft.
What?
Pablo Picasso, yeah. It's been attacked multiple times, and it came to America once at the request of Jackie Kennedy.
Oh, wow. Right, okay. I haven't got any of that, mate. Well done.
What?
It's painted by Leonardo, the turtle, believed to have been taken possibly a number of years, we don't know, between 1503 and 1506, holds the Guinness World Record for the highest known painting insurance valuation in history at $100 million US dollars in 1962. So then that's where you've come up with your equivalency of about 850 million today. But the one in this film can't be the real one because it's not covered in cream. That was the boy the other day, wasn't it? It was only a couple of weeks ago.
It really was, wasn't it? Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
Say what you want about the French. They're good crack. Like,
No.
I Do you know what? They're our closest, other than the Irish. They're our closest brothers. And I think they're fucking brilliant. They love it. They love a strike. They love a riot.
They don't give a shit, do they?
They love to just take the piss, and they love a drink. Lads, come
as
over.
Much,
let's have
it. As much as we hate, well, as much as everybody says, they know how to get things done.
I don't hate
like that
French.
whole petrol thing, man. They just block the whole roads as Lenty's moving until we get some cheaper prices. So know how to do it.
I used to work for Orange. Wanadu. You remember anybody remember Wanadu, the internet service provider that became Orange? Jesus. Yeah. Well, they when they announced a particular router, I can't remember what it was called, but that router apparently used to set fire to itself.
What?
And the tech support guys at Orange all went on strike, and then everybody at Orange France went on strike in solidarity with the tech support guys because this router kept burning people's houses down.
Jesus,
it was brilliant. So yeah, good on you, lads. We're like. He gets this bloke in with this little thing to authenticate it. He's like, "Oh, it's definitely the right one, Gavner." And Preston tells him to burn it all. And then these flamethrower boys come in. Fantastic job.
Like the thing,
yeah, it is a little bit. Now, Bale's got an American accent in this, and I assumed in the early 2000s he was American. Like, I always thought he was American.
Really?
Yeah, because in American Psycho. His American accent's brilliant.
The first thing I seen him in was that Steven Spielberg thing.
Yeah, Empire of the Sun. But I never put two and two together. That little boy was this man.
That little man.
That's a fun film. It's not a fun film. That's a great film. Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Yeah, and I tell you who the other one I always used to think was American, and again, it's quite prescient because it's the same year as this. Minority Report. Your man, the Irish actor.
Oh, God, he was brilliant. Colin Farrell,
because he was American in lots of things. Brilliantly American in that.
And the phone booth.
The phone booth, yeah, he's good in that as well.
Yeah, that accent is brilliant.
Have you seen the one where he's the country singer with Crazy Heart with Jeff Bridges?
No, yet.
That's boy can sing as well.
Yeah, he's multi-talented, yeah. In Bruges, he's just in a lot of good things, man.
In Bruges, yeah. The fucking talented Irish bastards.
7 Psychopaths, that was brilliant, loved it.
We'll do them all. We'll do them all at some point.
Done.
It's going to run for years, this. So Sean Bean's taken a book, right? And he said, well, why have you taken that book? Because they miss pieces sometimes. And he's a bit posh, isn't he, Sean Bean, in this?
Yeah. What was he reading?
He was reading W.B. Yeats. Or Yeats, I'm going to pronounce it.
I'm going to go Yeats.
I think it might be. The lads will sort us on this.
I thought it was Keats when I seen it. I was like, it's Keats. And I'm like, no, that's Yeats.
William Butler Yeats, one of those wonderful poets and writers that Ireland are famous for producing.
Yeah.
He helped found the Abbey Theatre, which is now the National Theatre in Dublin, and had 2 terms on the Senate for the Irish Free State.
What?
Garther, boy. Yeah,
he was a Nobel Peace Prize winner as well, wasn't he?
Was he really?
For his literature. Yeah, he got it in 1923. Because I was looking at when he was born. So he was born in 1865 and died in 1939. So yeah, he got it towards the end of his life. So well done, that guy.
Fantastic. Yeah, I didn't have that. But what I did do was I asked regular contributor and listener Mono from Mono Rants podcast. I said, look, why was Ireland so good at producing writers? Why? And he came back at length, as he is wont to do. He says, "I'm not going to do the accent because I can't. We're very prone to airy and colourful language in daily life, which I suppose would immediately lend itself to writing. Also, you don't get Irish writers of renown until post-industrial revolution. Not working on the farm every second for English bastard landlords left us time to get drunk alone with our thoughts. Plenty of them befitted from English education at Trinity." But the Irish mindset and flourish for language they brought something new to literature. These are my musings. These are my on-the-spot musings, though. Kira, that's his wife, says, and co-host, of course, says, pre-you bastards, we had a strong tradition of oral history.
That's what you say, do you?
Yeah, which continue under British rule, as it's a useful way to keep traditions and culture as you try to take it all away. I mean, she's not wrong. I hate the British as much as they do, but until I don't know, until they're going to house me and feed me in the Republic and pay for my medical health bills.
Then you're going to stay over here?
Then I've got to stay here. The fucking NHS. Yeah, but thanks to the pair of them. I love those guys so much.
Yeah, they're good crack, aren't they? Good crack.
Yeah, they're brilliant crack, and they're just so thoughtful as well. They're so thoughtful and helpful. They've got episodes at the minute on the new series of The Boys, which is absolutely fucking explosive, especially if you're up somebody's penis. Anyway, moving on. So they return to this place, Libria, right, which is the city.
Oh, sorry. See, before you go on, did you see who the head man was in that cell or whoever it was? See the main guy?
No, I didn't. I didn't clock that at all. No,
that was. Oh God, it was in the prison. Is it Prison Break? Is it Dominic Purcell?
Oh right, okay. I've never watched Prison Break. No.
But he was meant to play the lead part. He was all ready to play the lead, and then they got Christian Bale. So.
Oh right. Oh,
he's literally had like 5 minutes of screen time compared to.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah.
So he got the role, and then
he got the role, but then got a wee tiny part. Yeah. But yeah, they went back to
Libria.
Leviosa.
Right. So this city, so Big Brother, Father, is explaining that emotion's the thing that causes war. To get rid of emotion, they burn art and they take this drug, prosium, which is a bit on the fucking nose for me because it's Prozac and lithium. Yeah, or Valium. I thought lithium, so that makes a lot more sense.
They were going to call it Libriathum or something like that, but it turns out it's a real drug, so they tried to place two things together, so they thought Prozac and Valium.
I had that about Libriathium or whatever it is. I'll find it somewhere and we'll get the name right. But American and drugs, it is what it is. So art is classified as EC10, which is a little bit too close to Ecto-1 for my liking. So they inject this prosium into their neck, which I thought, again, is this Robocop 2?
I know.
Kane's bugging me.
Well, and the cassette tapes, oh my God, it all comes flooding back to me, man. I had that on the cassette tape.
Yeah, Jesus. It gets a really bad press, Robocop 2, because obviously it's not nearly as good as Robocop 1, but it's great fun.
No, it's good.
Especially introducing Robocop 2, and it rips its own fucking head off. I love that thing. Preston's brought in to see Father's kind of third in command, this guy, Angus McFadden.
Yeah, right? Robert the Bruce.
Yeah. Now, and it was only, I'm watching it and going, I know him from loads of things. I know him from one of those Saw films. And I think he was then in about 6 of them after that, because, they retcon themselves as they go on, and they throw characters from Saw 6 into Saw 2 and stuff like that.
Yeah. I didn't realise there was any of the Saws. I just wrote from Braveheart and Robert the Bruce film.
Yeah, I think he might be in the third one. In the second one, it's Donnie Wahlberg.
Yeah, so
he dies of not being vaccinated. Yeah. Oh no, that's his wife. Moving on. Apparently, he's top of his job, right? And he's able to sense what these sense offenders do. Now, I don't know about you. I couldn't hear this without hearing sex offender.
Sex offender, yeah.
Just couldn't.
I heard that as soon as that sex offence. I'm like, oh.
He says, "You've got a family." He says, "Oh yeah, my son's in the monastery training to be a cleric." Yeah, I bet. And my wife was incinerated as she was a sex offender.
Just like that. Like that.
It's like, and the guy says to him, Robert the Bruce says to him, "Did you not did you not notice that something was wrong?" And he's like, "Should I have done?" "Oh, how did you feel about that?" "I don't understand the question." Yes.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yes.
Very good. The last person condemned to death by burning was a woman called Mary Bailey for petty treason back in 1784.
Right. Okay. Petty treason.
That's
calling the king a cunt or something like that.
Because I hated doing it, but soon you need to Google stuff, and it's like the last country to use incineration as a so. But yeah, turns out here in the UK it was 1784 because it was Burn the Witch.
And it's coming back in 2025. So prepare yourselves. But only for women, as bought in by Jacob Rees-Mogg. Sorry, but he is a prick. Anyway, Preston's running through this video of a conversation with Sean Bean's Partridge in the car. Now, he'd said a little bit earlier on, and I didn't put it in the notes. I thought I'd put it in here. Mentioning it's ruined that. But he says earlier in the conversation, he says, oh, it'll be good when everything's kind of, when all the art's gone and there's no more reason for that. And he's kind of like, is it? ?
Yeah.
And he says, sorry, what did you say? Oh, he says, yeah. Oh, he says, it is ? And then he says, no, it is !
Yeah.
And then they take their drugs. And there's something about that isn't right with him, so he suspects him. So he heads to get the book from this evidence locker, but the guy's put nothing in for like 3 weeks. It's like, what? How is that possible? I love this book that the chap's got. Everything's really futuristic, but this book swivels on this thing, and you still writing it in a pen.
I know.
That's my fucking notes for this. He heads out of the city to the Nether, or as it's known in Cumbria, Barrow.
The Nether regions.
He finds Partridge reading the Yeats book, and he quotes from it: "Everything that makes us who we are has traded away." Preston shoots him through the book, which I thought looked pretty.
That was very good. That was pretty cool.
And again, no blood, nothing. You just see Sean Bean kind of fall backwards, and Sean Bean's dead.
Yeah. Again.
Dead again. So, with that in mind, John, I've got a quiz for you.
Of course you do.
Now, I think you know where this is going. This one's called Sean Bean or Has Been. Right?
Okay.
I'm going to name you 5 films, and you need to tell me whether or not Sean Bean died in it. Okay. So, if he lived, it's Bean. If he died, it's Has Been. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Sean Bean. Has
I'm up for that. I think I know the.
All right. Okay, this is.
I know well enough. That's an easy 5 points.
Oh, you're going to get 5. Quietly confident. Okay, 1990s Irish drama, The Field.
Has Been. I think he was killed by a cow or something. Wasn't he?
I was just about to say, you get a bonus point if you can tell me how he dies.
Killed by a cow. He got pushed off.
He gets pushed off a cliff by some cows. Brilliant. Well,
the original Dumbledore was in it. It was actually pretty good.
Richard Harris got nominated for that. Yeah. Okay, so you get a bonus point if you can tell me what he carked it for, how he carked it. Number 2, your dad's favourite film, Patriot Games.
Oh God.
Another shitty Irish accent in this as well, by the way.
It definitely Has Been because he died in it. Yeah. But I think he got stabbed by something, like a pike or some sort of. It was on a ship. An anchor.
There you go. Congratulations. I didn't give you any tips there. Yeah, he gets anchored. Number 3, 2004's Troy.
Ooh.
Troy.
Bean? He never died in it.
He's Odysseus, so he doesn't die. Odysseus dies of old age, is my understanding.
Yeah.
Now, is that a film that deserves another go?
It's an epic one, but I'll wait pictures to see it, actually. It's quite, if I remember right, it's quite good. It's got Eric Bana and all that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what puts me off. Eric Bana and Orlando Bloom. I've seen it.
Brad Pitt was good in it. Brad Pitt was actually right in it.
Okay. Anyway, moving on. Number 4. Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief from 2010. You know that sub-Harry Potter shite.
Bean never died in it.
Yeah. Do you know who he played in it?
Oh shit! No, he's he's the main god, isn't he? He's Zeus.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fucking smashing these.
You're not doing bad. Last one, 2010 again. The Black Death, straight to DVD. Pish about the bubonic plague. I not only have I seen this, but I think I might still own this.
Has Been, but I think he got hung, drawn, and quartered, didn't he? Like ripped to shreds.
He gets pulled apart by horses.
Oh, shit, I know too much about Sean Bean.
What the fuck is going on in your head? So, right, you get all 5 points and you get 3 bonus points. Fucking hell, mate! I think I said to you at the start, we're not going to do very well here, but you just got us 8.
Just done a Sean Bean quiz. The only thing I've got, and this is because of how many times has he died, but there's debate on this. They're saying it's either 24 or 25.
Right.
I think it's 24.
Okay.
But I could be wrong.
Remake of The Hitcher. Do you see that?
Yes.
Unnecessary,
yeah.
but just as scary.
Yeah, Rocker Howard's
just scary. There's nothing in that except for CGI blood.
Aye.
And CGI ripping someone apart and some between some trucks.
Aye.
There's no need for it. Rutger Hauer one's great, isn't it?
Oh, he's creepy as fuck, isn't he? Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
Love
I
it,
think
love
that's
it.
something I need to buy on 4K if they've got a decent reproduction of that.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Thomas C. Howell in it.
Thomas C. Howell, yeah,
Jesus.
scares the shit out of me, Rutger Hauer,
Aye.
up to his death, because that and Roy Batty. Who, I still stand by the fact it's the least scary name of anybody in any.
Aye, no,
Roy
definitely.
Batty sounds like he should be in Coronation Street.
Definitely.
Doesn't he?
Roy's Rose.
I've seen ham and cress on a brown roll. I've seen things you would never see. 16 pieces of tray bake sold before lunchtime. I don't know.
Love him.
Needs another run by that one. Preston's new partner turns up, right? Tay Diggs, dancer extraordinaire. Now, I was trying to figure out, because I thought I know him from loads of stuff. Is it Tay Diggs? Have I got him mixed up with another character?
No, you're right. But I'm sure.
Is he out of The Last Dance or whatever it was? Was it called The Last Dance?
I think so, but I might be getting this mixed up. Is he on the House on Haunted Hill, the remake?
He is in the House on Haunted Hill remake. Yeah, we mentioned that a lot. I think it's probably shit.
I
loved it. I went to the cinema to see it, and I loved it. Yeah, no, because I would watch. I'd watch your man from that in absolutely anything.
Yeah.
What's he called? Jeffrey Rush.
Jeffrey Rush.
I would watch. Jeffrey Rush needs to just fucking.
And Famke, what's her name?
Famke Janssen. Yeah, she's great.
Jesus.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting carried away. But he's a dancer.
What rhythm?
He's in Chicago and that, isn't he?
Oh yeah. But yeah, I didn't like him in this. I thought he was.
I think that's the point, though, isn't it?
I suppose but it was just. I suppose it was just a bit smuggy, wasn't it? Smuggy.
Smuggy prick. Yeah, smug prick. I hate smug.
He wants to climb the ranks, didn't he? Using Preston as his...
Yeah, he says, I was told this is a career making appointment. I'm going to make my career with you. Remember that, listeners, because it's coming back at the end. Back at his apartment, he lives in this fucking apartment. Preston Jr., this little fucking Hitler kid.
Yeah.
Watching father on this big screen talking shite and doesn't call him dad. Now, you're a dad, John. That must fucking hurt.
Oh, God. I remember when I was younger, my parents says, look, you can call us John and Maureen.
Seriously?
We tried it. Just didn't.
Man. Did your mum and dad thought they were cool, eh?
Aye, pretty much, aye.
Yeah.
Like, John, can you stop hitting me?
Oh, Jesus. Behind the veil there, John. Yeah, I mean, if I only ever called my dad Baz if it was to somebody else, because everyone called me Dad Baz because he was.
Right.
But yeah, no, I've never called him Baz. Yeah, and he asks if he should grass up his crying schoolmate, and he's like, "Absolutely." He's like, "I thought so."
It's so dark, isn't it?
He goes to sleep right on this mattress topper with no duvet.
Yeah.
So does that mean that sheets make you want to go to war with your neighbour or something?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure we've not got technology, but we've found a way of keeping warm with having a sheet on them.
I never get emotional about covers ever. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, never. He dreams about his wife's arrest for this sense offence, and she's like, "Remember me." The next morning, he's taking his narc and he smashes a dose on the floor by accident. And the kid's like, and so you can go and get a new one. He says, "Yeah, it was an accident." It's, "Yeah, you'll go and get a new one, won't you? And you'll report it, won't you?" Yes, I will. Like, is he like a prisoner in his own home to these little fucking bastards?
Yeah, well, there's some of them standing in corners, so it looks as if they're using the kids as they might be just more in tune with people with feelings.
Yeah, possibly. Brant, Tay Diggs' character, picks up Preston. I've just written the Equilibrium shop. It's go to Equilibrium, but hey, he's mentioned the fucking film title.
Did you see that car though?
The white cars are amazing.
So it was a 1992 Cadillac Seville, but they actually painted it inside and out. So see if you look in the inside shots, you can see it's leather, but they've literally painted it all white.
Oh, is that what they've done?
But what makes it even weirder is in the shots when they're going into the city, there's a white truck passes over the top, like But they are fire engines from airports. It's a Rosberg Simba 6x6.
Oh right! Wow.
So it's actually a fire truck.
Because it does spray at one point, doesn't it? It's spraying the guys. That's brilliant. Oh, I was kind of like, okay, they've built some sort of thing. No, why build anything? Why build anything? Just repurpose.
Exactly.
What they should have done with the American car was just dismantled it completely and rebuilt it in Japan, arguably, or South Korea. He's at the Equilibrium shop, but he can't get in. It's been closed due to some terrorist attack.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brandt turns up and he's like, "Oh, did you get in all right?" And he's like, "Yeah, no queues. No, there was no queues." And he just gets in the car, and I'm like, "Okay, so he's not got his replacement. What's going on here?" They get access to this home, right, which has got a room full of gaudy tat. Like wallpaper and soft furnishings and all this kind of stuff. This woman, Mary O'Brien, you can see it in her eyes that she's not been taking her meds. And he's like, look at yourself in the mirror. She's just attacking. Look at yourself in the mirror. She looks herself in the mirror and he's like, yeah, and this mirror frame, destroy that as well. Like this ornate golden mirror frame. Yeah, destroy that as well. And then they get into this room. And it's just full of shit.
It's full. It's chock-a-block.
Yeah, it's chock-a-block full of. It looks like a fucking boudoir, doesn't it?
Like, it looks like something in a museum.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Just
it looks like.
Shit.
It looks like that museum out of Demolition Man.
It does, yeah. The scene.
Did you spot any of the things in it, John? Because I got loads here.
The only thing I've got in it was the record player, the stuff that he was mucking about with lipstick, stuff like that. But no, I didn't.
Okay. The first thing I spotted was a disco ball, mirror ball or glitter ball. This blew me away. This is my fact of the episode. Patented in 1917.
What?
Long before disco. The first one on screen was in the film Berlin, a symphony of a great city, in 1927 German silent film. Mm. I would assume it's not a great symphony if it's silent, but what do I know? A Louisville, Kentucky company known as Omega National Products claims to have made 90% of the disco balls used in the United States during the disco craze and remains a supplier today.
Jesus.
I assumed they'd gone the way of glass bricks.
Yeah.
Which we're going to see later in the film, by the way.
Well, indeed.
I've seen a fucking glass brick in years, but it turns out they have a resurgence sometime between now and the potential Fourth World War.
Exactly. Everybody needs a good glass brick. Is Miami Vice shit in it?
Scarface. I assume making glass bricks is harder and more costly than making bricks.
Probably.
Masonry. You'd assume so, wouldn't you? Anyway, what the fuck do I know? I'm not. What the fuck do I know? I'm not in property anymore. Hey!
You're out of there.
Absolutely. He spots a Newton's cradle. He grabs the metal balls. Yeah. Newton's cradle demonstrates conservation of momentum and the conservation of energy with swinging spheres. I've got a couple of swinging spheres. It's named after Isaac Newton, but actually designed by French scientist Edem Marot. Hey? They are the French, they're back.
Yeah.
13 quid at Argos, if you want one, is the cheapest I was able to find one. A couple of other things. There's a Mother Goose book. Old Mother Goose is a made-up name for an author of fairy tales and nursery rhymes. First published in the UK as Tales of My Mother Goose, from a translation of, you know it, the French text, Conte de ma mère Loy, which I've absolutely butchered. Sorry, lads. Pardonnez français. Which is curated and published by Charles Perrault. Heavy European episode, this, by the way, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
We're soaking ourselves in Europe.
But what did the Europeans ever do for us, eh?
Exactly.
I've seen prices range from 9 quid for one of these books to 60 quid. The 60 quid one, though, is the Folio Society, which I do recommend if anybody likes their books and wants to buy a book as a gift. Go to Folio Society website. I bought a copy of Jurassic Park, hardback, which has got pictures in it, illustrated dinosaurs in it.
What? Was it pop-up? Did you pull?
You pull the thing and Samuel Jackson's arm falls out of it. Yeah, that's exactly
Mate, don't get you started. That's a good idea.
My first Velociraptor. I've seen that new Jurassic Park, by the way. It's fucking brutal.
Is it bad?
Well, if you want to see 45 minutes of fucking dinosaurs, it's amazing. The dinosaurs in it look gorgeous and are fantastic. Good. But stop telling me about this little clone girl. I didn't care about her in the last film. I care even less about her now she's a teenager.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah. I'm the same.
Fuck off. And I could not care less about a love story between Chris Pratt and the fucking daughter of Richie from Happy Days.
Exactly.
Ay. He spots a rotary phone. Now, this is your wheelhouse here. Why am I doing fucking phone-related facts when this is your thing?
Rotary phone?
Right? Rotary phones are pulse, whereas modern phones are tone. You know what I mean? Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Meaning that if you're asked to input a number on one of these, not only will it take you a fucking week, it won't work because the tone system doesn't recognise pulse. First commercial automatic telephone exchange designed by a bloke called Almond Brown Stoger, which absolutely sounds like 3 surnames, which I'm all right with, completely unnecessary, in LaPorte, Indiana in 1892. There's loads of reproductions of these things because hipsters exist. Between 40 quid and 65 quid seems to be your kind of medium price for something that you are never, ever going to use.
So I'll give you a top tip on this.
Here he comes.
I'm back in the house. I'm back home. So my mate had one, and what used to do is there used to be a lock. You could put a lock on it, stop it. But if you wanted to make a call, see the bit where your finger hits.
Yeah.
See if you tap that for the numbers that you want. It'll make the call.
Oh, really?
It'll make the call. Yeah. So you used to do for whatever, or 999. You could do 9, then 9, and then 9, and it would phone the police for you.
So you would tap it 9 times for 1 9.
Yeah, so you didn't need to unlock it.
Hey.
Yeah. So if they ever come back, guys, criminal.
I'm all about this retro futuristic criminal activity. He also spots this Eiffel Tower snow globe, right? Yeah. And this Eiffel Tower snow globe, for some reason, makes him cry. I don't know who feels emotion about one of those, unless it's maybe cost you €30 on the Champs-Elysees.
Or you shake it and there's not a lot of snow in it. You're like, I've been robbed.
You shake it and it's full of fiery modems. Yeah. He's listening to some music. You mentioned the record player. He finds a record. It's Symphony No. 9 in D minor by Beethoven. He says, "Ooh, Beethoven, yeah, that's it. The dog, the dog." By the way, that Beethoven film I watched a few years ago, and the whole plot of that film is that they're trying to protect that dog from being murdered.
Yeah,
they want to kill the dog. That's brutal for a kid. So anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. Symphony No. 9 in D minor. Premiered in 1824 at Theater am Karstentor in Vienna. And now is the downfall of these things. I have fuck all idea about classical music. I do not know anything about it.
Yeah.
So I can really struggle to get good facts from it. But what I do know is where I've heard classical music on the telly. So you know the Ode to Joy bit, which is part of this. I've listened to this 2 or 3 times now. But the Ode to Joy bit is the... we've just mentioned Jurassic Park now, and all I can think is da 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 da, and it's not that. The Ode to Joy bit in this, which I can't do because I've got Jurassic Park stuck in my fucking head now. Famously used in there's the theme tune to the 1992 European Cup football tournament on the BBC. See,
there you go.
But it was also the national anthem for Soviet Germany, and in the 70s and into the 80s, Rhodesia, which is now known as where, John? Zimbabwe.
No, Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
I've always known it's Zimbabwe.
It's a lot of Krugerrand, my friend. That's it.
Popcorn.
Diplomatic immunity. You're fucking prawn. Anyway, it's getting more and more insulting as it goes on. But we made friends with the French today, so that's something.
Yeah.
Anyway, as they're burning it down, he's nicked this. He's nicked this bit of ribbon, hasn't he? He's nicked a book and a bit of ribbon.
Oh, no, the ribbon comes later.
Oh, the ribbon comes later. Okay, got you. Fantastic. Brandt catches him with the book and uses the same excuse of the missing things, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. This guy shouts them just as he's kind of asking him. He's like, "Sir, we found something else." And they go around the back. This was brutal, by the way. because it's a big kennel of dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know you, as a dog owner, and me as a dog lover.
It was like, oh,
yeah,
it's horrible, isn't it?
It's like, yeah, there were women and children protecting it, but we took them down. Fuck.
Fucking hell.
So we just murdered some women and children to get at the fucking dogs. And they, off kennel, they just pop all these. Oh, it's fucking absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
We just murder them off screen. One tries to escape, but he grabs it and claims that they need to test it for disease, and they just go with this, like, murder all the rest.
Yeah, we take that one. It was a Burmese mountain dog, right? And the weirdest thing about this whole thing is it was an actor that did the barking and the yelping for the pup.
Well, yeah, I couldn't find the actor that did it. Did you?
No.
But the one actor that does all of these things, like we've had him quite a few times. He comes up anytime there's an animal noise that he does the animal noise. I want to say Frank Welker. I don't think it's Frank Welker. It's the other guy that does all the animal kind of, because dogs don't bark at the right time.
Yeah.
And apparently this guy just sounds like dogs. Listeners, remind us who that is, because I've got enough fucking windows open. But yeah, he back at his desk, he's looking at the Mary O'Brien in a cell, like he's perving on her, isn't he?
He's sitting, it's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Yeah. He goes to get the belonging. Yeah, he's very American Psycho. He's about to pick up a Phil Collins CD. He goes to get her belongings, and this is where he takes the ribbon and he's sniffing at it. Perv sniffing.
Yeah, it's very weird.
I mean, she's bra-like, don't get me wrong.
And this, she's stunning.
Emily Watson, Emily Watson, I've always thought is like a proper kind of British character actor. I guess I never realised that she was, because she always seems to play dowdy characters.
Yeah.
I never realised that she was bra. She is.
All right, she really is. Yeah. She's like, what's that, Emma Thompson and Nanny McPhee, when she's a bit of all right at the end.
Emma Thompson, yeah. I am wanking as I write this. Yeah. My Anthony Hopkins gets worse as we go on. I am wanking as I write. He drives out to the Nether to set the puppy free, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the stupid puppy. Oh, he won't go. He's so cute. And he's cute. Yeah. Burmese mountain dogs, you mentioned. Swiss, obviously. They were used like St. Bernards, and still are, for sniffing out corpses of poorly prepared twats up mountains. They live for only 6 to 8 years on average.
Oh, what? Really?
That's sad, isn't it? Yeah. $2,500 for a puppy if you want one. From my favourite place to puppy farm, petsforhomes.co.uk. Or 1,200 quid for a Bernedoodle.
I thought you were going to say 12 for $1,000 or something like that.
12 for $1,000 out the back of a van at the Barras.
Aye.
Yeah, a Bernedoodle, which is half one of those and half poodle.
Right.
Yeah, your dog breeders were so preoccupied with whether they could.
They still did think whether they should.
You should, exactly right. Yeah. Bernedoodle, piss off. He puts the dog back in the thing and gives him his coat to lie on. And the dog kind of settles on the coat. Just as these Mad Max motorcycle cops show up.
So they.
Yeah. They're about to open the trunk and the lead cop recognises him. Oh, sorry, sir, I didn't recognise you. Because, you're like...
You're dressed as a cleric.
Yeah, you're the fucking poster boy for this whole operation.
I know.
And I didn't recognise you. Yeah. This little yelp comes from the back of the car. He's like, don't open it. Do not open it. Whatever you do, it's a terrible idea. Don't open it.
Mm-hmm.
And he does. He opens it. And he has to just... And this is one of the great scenes, this. Yeah. He takes the guy's guns off them, shoots them through the fucking mask.
And then flicks his guns out for his...
Oh, yeah, out of his cuffs. Yeah, and goes to town. All to that music from that video piracy advert. No. You wouldn't steal a dog. You wouldn't murder a police officer. Yeah, which is good.
I forgot about that.
Back at Casa del Preston, he takes the bathroom mirror off the wall, and it basically shows this gaping chasm to these pipes. How shit a house builder is he? Father just doesn't care about where he puts people.
It was like that Candyman, mind, when and it was right into the other person's house. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, I missed a bit actually, I knew I'd missed this because it's just something that happens a little bit earlier on when you discover that he's not been taking any of his things. He has this nightmare about Partridge being burnt, and he heads for the window. It's raining. He peels off this film that they've got. They've got like this.
Yeah,
and I've had this in offices, by the way. Used to have this at TSC, where there's film on the windows, and they claimed it was so people couldn't look in, but it's quite blatantly to stop you looking out.
You're looking out and enjoying the world.
Scum, like fucking casinos. There was no clock or anything, but he peels it all off. And he cries at a rainbow, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's a double rainbow.
Yeah. He's after me, Lucky Charms, John. So he's feeling, and that's the whole thing. He hesitates, doesn't use the pros gum. Now, my question for you, John, is, and I'm going to put you on the spot. What's the thing that makes you feel the most? What things make you happier than anybody than anything else?
I know it sounds a bit weird, right? But standing on a hill that I've just climbed up and looking at over Scotland or like a castle or something makes me feel really, really good. Not totally emotional, but that makes me feel the happiest.
You're a proud nationalist, though, so that makes perfect sense. Yeah, absolutely.
I love a good view.
I went to Twitter for this, by the way. Paul at SB Film Viewers. Hi, Paul. Previous episodes. Jurassic Park. Correct. That's Ode to Joy. Yeah. Certain scores from film soundtracks I've big emotional attachments to, such as Jurassic Park. Jesus, keeps coming up. Up. And How to Train Your Dragon. When you've got music paired with certain scenes, gives me an emotional arse kicking.
It's so right. Because see the scene where T-Bird dies in the car with that music in the background? That always makes me feel a wee bit emotional.
I really pissed on one of your favourite films, didn't I, on episode?
Aye, fuck you.
Jesus Christ. I'd have gone mad at you if you'd done that. Talented musician. Pat Vale, who is Welsh, living in Jersey, I think, New Jersey, not Little Jersey, New Jersey. Unprompted sudden memories of things that once were, but can never be replicated again.
Oh man,
Mans is a really, really talented artist. His new album is out. I want to say Pat Vale from Disney or something like that. Give that a listen on SoundCloud. He follows us and comments on stuff all the time, so you'll see him. He's a very talented guy. And Joe, hallmark of greatness, dear friend of the podcast, as always in my fucking mentions. Them dodo videos of abandoned cats and dogs being rehabbed makes me cry.
Oh, that's difficult, isn't it?
The end of Coco and the start of Up, you are fucking so right, mate.
Jesus.
The beginning of Up gets me every time. And that last bit of Still Game.
Oh, Jesus, when they're disappearing. Oh,
yeah.
God, yeah.
Oh, that's fucking brutal. I've just got goosebumps. My hairy arms on end. Oh, fuck's sake.
Just thinking about him walking up that hill.
It makes for great audio, this, John.
Get it watched. Netflix.
It is on Netflix. Yeah? Anyway, back to wherever the fuck we were in the film.
You ruined it, man.
Let's put those things down as things we have learned. I, of course, have no emotion. So, watching the Tories lose Wakefield in the by-election the other day, Tiverton, that's really good, especially at Labour. That was good. And seeing the country get behind RMT at the minute on the strikes. Anyway, dating this massively, and seeing your man taking the right-wing media to task. He's been amazing. He's been so good.
He's a hero.
He's a hero. Anyway, fucking hell. I'm going to lose my job for this podcast. I can feel it. But at least I'll still have the podcast. That's important. You and the podcast, John. That's all that matters.
Who needs money?
Yeah. Who needs money when we've got feathers? In the monastery now, Preston and Brant are sparring. These jiu-jitsu poles and masks and things. This looks awesome. Brant explains that the actions that have been taken by this individual, killing all the cops out in the Nether, have caused father to escalate the crackdown of the rebels. And he's really smarmy. I see what you're getting at about not liking this guy. He's really fucking smarmy about this.
So we really should be thanking this guy. Like, fuck off.
Piss off. Your fucking Jobsworth.
Exactly.
They're at another crackdown of the insurgents in the next scene.
Yeah.
Preston finds these bunch of guys, and it's just like, look, guys, run, just run. Like, no, because you're going to shoot us in the back. No, I could shoot you in the front. I don't care. Just run. And they're like, no, like they're petrified. He's like, fine, follow me. Hang on a second. They're not willing to run from him, but they're going to follow him.
Yeah, no. Well, they're behind him, aren't they? So they're going to shoot. Not going to shoot him in the back if it's in front of them.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Anyway, these cops come and like, what's going on here? And he's like, hide, and he fucks them up with these nails in the bottom of his gun handle.
Nice. So where the cartridges come out, it pops out.
Awesome. Yeah. That was a really good fucking weapon. I love that.
He was smashing the polycarbonate bloody visors left, right, and centre there, wasn't he?
It wasn't polycarbonate, is it? Oh, look at you.
Well, it protects you from UV light, you know.
Does it?
It naturally absorbs UV radiation. But I thought everybody knew that.
Apparently I didn't. Great, okay. Brandt captures the insurgents. Right, and says to Preston, now I got this mixed up in my notes, but let's not focus on it just now because it will come up later on. And he offers his gun to Preston and says to Preston, look, because Preston said, I don't think we should take them in. He says, no, shoot them now. It's what father wants. I'll give you my gun if your gun's jammed.
Yeah.
And he gives him his gun. And he says, no, take the gun back. So he gives him his gun back.
Yes. Yeah.
Or so we think. And that fantastic, yeah. And Brandt just gets them all fucking murdered, doesn't he?
Yep.
Through this wall of bricks, glass bricks, which it does look good. It's a good visual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it is meant to be the 2070s, so I guess fashion comes round every 100 years.
Exactly, retro always comes round again, doesn't it?
Preston explains to DuPont, father's minion, that he wants to find and destroy the resistance, and so he wants him to get behind this idea. He's going through Partridge's belongings. He finds a picture of Mary O'Brien and him together, and on the back of it says "Freedom." But it's like scrawled. It's written like Millpool on Bart's cast in an episode of The Simpsons.
I scrolled on in it and like, what the hell?
It's a right mess. Anyway, he heads to see Mary O'Brien and ask her why. They were obviously in a relationship, and he explains that he killed him, and she goes to batter him, and they have a little bit of a closeness, don't they? He's like breathing on one another. It's good. On the back of that, he fucks off to a library. Now, this absolutely blew me away, this librarian character. Who was it? Did you spot him?
No.
It was Brian Connolly.
Oh my God.
The comedian Brian Connolly. It's a puppy!
You know what? Do you know that put me off is I was trying to look at him and go, oh, I know that face. And then the next minute, something happens and I recognise the next character. So I was too busy absorbed with that one.
Comedian and TV host Brian Connolly.
It's a puppy.
Yeah, he's an actor in something about Whitechapel murder thing. I've never watched it. Yeah, anyway. It's a puppet. Reference only for British people. That
Brian Connolly, Jesus.
With his Hitler haircut, isn't he?
Bradley Walsh's brother, isn't
it? Yes.
I asked him if he's a sex offender, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. And he's like, no. He says, "Who's Partridge? You knew who was he seeing? Who was he working with? It was a guy called Jurgen." And then he picks him up and throws him through this wall of books into some haunted house where Jurgen lives. That's behind this wall of books. I'm like, what? What's going on here?
The only reason I knew that is because the shadow underneath is slightly crooked. Could just be bad workmanship.
I didn't even spot that.
Did
so
you not
well
spot
done.
that?
No, I wondered where that had come from.
A crooked wee bit that was in shadow.
All right, okay. That makes sense. They head into the sewers and force him to do this polygraph to prove that he's got emotion.
Yeah.
And that he's not one of the turtles.
And then away didn't he see Smiley, isn't he?
Yes.
Like Demolition Man.
Yeah, that's exactly where they are. Yeah. And then he says, look, what I want you to do is to kill father. Kill father and it'll all come apart. Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah.
DuPont sends for Preston. He knows that a cleric is feeling and contacting the resistance. Preston explains he's trying to find the resistance and he's going to try harder. Back at the flat, he checks the boys' drugs and the kid's like, what are you doing? He says, I'm just checking. Okay. Good night, Dad. Oh. Wait a minute. What's going on here? Preston goes to see Mary and his dose alarm goes off as soon as she realises that he's feeling. he's not going to take his drugs. The kind of like hands creep towards one another and just touch a little bit, don't they?
Yeah, the old fingernails, well manicured.
Yeah, in the future. Yeah. Jurgen's plan, as we know before, is to kill Father, but they've got bombs already set at these equilibrium shops. And what that's going to do is basically stop access, even if it's just for one day, which will allow people to hopefully start feeling in that 24-hour period. Back at his desk, Preston's watching footage of his wife being burnt, which seems to spur him on to some kind of to save Mary. So he starts running, doesn't he, down the Channel Tunnel. He's off to France, of course, which we all want to do. For some reason, she's dressed like the little girl from Don't Look Now. This red hood.
Yeah.
I didn't really get what that was, this cagoule. He arrives just in time to see her turned into insurgent
Welsh
jerky.
widows. It's like Scottish widows thing, isn't it? Welsh widows.
The boy's like, we can't open it because the turbines have already been turned on. So what do you mean the turbines have already been turned on? Surely it doesn't seem very cost effective in this world where we're living today, where energy prices are really expensive. To turn on the turbines just to burn one person. Get them all together. Set a date.
It's like dishes in it. Wait till there's a lot of them.
Yeah, exactly. And you should tell my wife that. He leaves and falls to his knees crying outside, doesn't he, on the steps?
Yeah.
He gets caught by Brant. I told you I'd make my career with you, Preston.
Blammo. Punch in the face.
Yeah. Brant takes Preston to DuPont. Preston says it was Brant. So when he changed his gun back in the Boondocks, he switched guns. So anywhere that Preston's been, it looks like Brant has on the tracking of the thing. And Brant's what? Oh, what? No, you bastard. I thought this was really smart. I was going to.
So did I. No, it was well done. Well thought of it.
Preston returns home to find this search team at his apartment. So basically, DuPont sent this search team because, if you've got nothing to hide, and the search team are like, just going to rip your place apart. Yeah, no bother at all, mate. On you go.
Zine 5.
Nips into the bathroom for a shite, rips the mirror off the wall to find out all his piles of drugs have gone missing. So they've gone. Turns out it was the kid. The little kid's been doing it.
Yeah.
And he says, you really should be better at hiding these. He says, how long have you known? How long have you not been taking yours? Since Mom was taken? Like fucking donkeys.
Yeah, I know.
Because they were little tiny kids in that flashback, weren't they?
Yeah. Him and his sister, weren't they?
Yeah, and your sister, of course. Yeah. So because that's all cleared up. Now he's been given an audience with Father.
Yes.
And he's dressed like he's going to his first communion, like first Holy Communion, in this white outfit with a sash down it.
Yeah, and the katana sword.
They take his katana off him and they make him do a polygraph to prove he's not lying. And just as he sits down, anyway, we'll come to that in a second. Polygraph's lie detector test.
What's the best way to get
a weapon off of a cleric? Ask him for it. It's brilliant, and then they pull the guns on him. Polygraph is a lie detector test. Now, here in England and Wales, polygraph test can be taken, but the results cannot be used in a court of law to prove a case. I liked that. The Supreme Court in Poland, which is another great country, in my opinion, can be declared January 29th, 2015. The use of a polygraph in interrogation of suspects is forbidden by the Polish Code of Criminal Procedure.
Fair enough.
Meanwhile, in America, in 2018, Wired magazine reported that an estimated 2.5 million polygraph tests were given each year in the United States, with the majority administered to paramedics, police officers, firefighters, and state troopers. The average cost to administer the test is more than $700 and is part of a $2 billion industry.
Of course it is.
So.
Money.
Yeah, the almighty dollar. The all-ighty ollar. Exactly right. Crazy, yeah? Absolutely crazy. But yeah, this bit's great because hang on a second. It's an old switcheroo.
Isn't it?
Twisty. Yeah. So Father speaks directly to Preston from the screen. And he says, you thought I didn't know about you. This is all part of the plan. And he says, but I don't know you. We've never spoken before. And the face of Father melts away. And it's DuPont.
It's DuPont, old Angus.
Yeah. Father died years ago. And he's been pretend father for these years. Yeah, so he's basically a committee has put him in charge of pretending to be father. Love this.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
So he's surrounded. He basically shoots his way again with the stuff. The guns he's got kind of stashed, and this reloading system that he's got as well, where the extra clip comes out of his fucking cufflinks, and that looks fantastic.
It looks brilliant. And even the ones that he throws ones on the ground and they're weighted so they're sitting upright. That was quite cool as well.
That was awesome. Yeah, looks so good. He shoots his way into DuPont's office and he's surrounded by these clerics. So we see these clerics training at one point.
Yeah,
and we assume these guys are like the brand new boys on the
boys.
Because otherwise, there's only 3 other clerics in the whole of the fucking city. But yeah, he fights these guys, doesn't he? Does a really good job of samurai swording them to death in seconds.
Yeah,
and then Brandt comes on and they have a little bit of a tiny, barely even a fight.
I like this one because you're expecting this big, massive.
Yeah,
no, to be.
Like, don't mess up the suit. I plan on wearing it for a long time. And he kind of like cuts his sword off, or cuts his gun off, cuts something else. And then there's a third slash. The fuck is that? And Brandt kind of drops to his knees. Then his face slides off.
Yeah, it's quite cool, isn't it?
I want to take his face off. Now, it looks like shitty PS2 graphics. But I thought they could remaster that and resell this film.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, I think it's looked all right. There's a few bits of kind of like father and matte painting CGI stuff that doesn't look great, but other than that, it's all right. And his face just slides off, doesn't he?
There goes for DuPont.
Yeah, absolutely. He gun-foos DuPont, doesn't he? And he says, "He's taking my life worth the price." He says, "I pay it gladly." Shoots him in the face. Brilliant.
Done.
Yeah. Goes on to destroy all the computers running Father's shit rhetoric, but he doesn't. He shoots all the monitors.
Yeah, I know.
Destroys all the monitors. And unless it's one of those iMacs, where the computer's in it.
Yeah, then it doesn't really work.
Yeah. Final shot is of Preston smiling as all the explosions are happening in the city that Jürgen had told us were going to happen, and I guess it's a bright new future for Liberia, Liberian girl, or whatever we're going to call them.
Libya.
Yeah. Libya does need a bright new future. Yeah. Probably not under George Weah. Wow, lots going on there, mate. Lots and lots going on.
Yeah, no, I have.
I've got a couple of other bits and pieces. A cleric, in reality, a cleric is a member of the clergy. Think teacher or minister or rabbi, a spellcasting class in D&D, which will be relevant to something coming very, very soon on this podcast. American metal band called Cleric that have very overly serious album names. Regressions, Retro Casual, and Chokmah, the Book of Bereth. The Underling. God, they take themselves a bit fucking seriously.
The Younglings!
They were supposed to save us from Cleric, not deliver us to shit metal. What else you got, John? I think that's me, actually. Oh, I've got a couple of film facts.
Yeah, go for it.
Right, I like these. 2 different actresses play Preston's wife. The woman that gets condemned was filmed first and featured an actor called Alexa Summer. However, when it's time to film the scene where she was arrested, they couldn't be found.
Yeah,
so Maria Pia Calzone, which sounds tasty, takes her place. As a result, there's 2 separate credits. Summer is credited as Viviana Preston, where Maria Pia Calzone was credited as Preston's wife, even though they're meant to be the same character.
Yeah.
Got the drug Prosium, but you'd already done that one. And Daniel Radcliffe auditioned for the part of John Preston's son.
Oh, what?
Yeah. You're a cleric, Harry!
Leviosa!
Leviosa. That's me. I'm out.
The only other thing I've got is the last death by firing squad was on the 13th of August 1964. Peter Anthony Allen at the Walton Prison in Liverpool and Gwyn Owen Evans at Strangeways Prison in Manchester. They were executed for the murder of John Allen West on the 7th of April of that year.
All right, wow. You're like Manchester. You've got strange ways.
You'll have a blast.
It's not every week you get a John Shuttleworth reference on a podcast. That's for sure. apparently, I've got two more I missed there. Apparently, Kurt Wimmer invented the martial arts style of gunfighting in his backyard. Allegedly.
That's brilliant. Sitting in his back garden, just getting on his shooting shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And the poem that Partridge is reading is called "He Wishes for Cloths of Heaven" by Yeats. Which is from the collection "The Wind Amongst the Reeds" from 1899. And that is me. I am completely out of things.
Are we done here?
Yeah, John, it's been a while since we've done this, but how many do you think we got?
Well, I've done really well in that quiz, so I'm thinking 78.
Go a little bit higher.
88.
Go higher.
98.
Go a little bit higher.
100.
John, this is 100 things we learned from Equilibrium.
Is it 100?
Yeah, I had to count it 4 times to believe it.
Wow, that's amazing. That's pretty cool, actually. I thought we were done for it. I didn't think we were going to get 100.
I thought we were going to get. I think I got like 30 there. But yeah, thanks to you and your knowledge of all the shit that fucking Sean Bean dies.
Oh, God. I love that boy.
Brilliant stuff. So you can get us on the Twitters at 100 Things Pod. You can get us everywhere else on 100 Things Film. I will have to figure out if I can change that somewhere. We are very, very shortly going to be introducing a cross-podcast D&D playthrough with friends of the podcast and previous guests. Joe from Hallmark of Greatness, Dean from That Efkin Show, and Punk from What the Fuck Do You Want? You can get them respectively on our episodes of Bend It Like Beckham, Dodgeball, not Dodgeball, we didn't Dodgeball, Basketball, and Blues Brothers. And that is DM'd by the always fantastic Gadget 8-Bit, who is on Modern Escapism, which I didn't get to do. I did Modern Escapism the other week, John. I will send you a link to that because that was great fun. That is going to be one of your new favourite podcasts. It's so right good. Up your street, where I got to talk about multiverses with the boys on there. So I'm hoping to do a lot more with them, and we'll get Stig on here, as well as Gadget and the rest of the guys. We'll get Biggie on when he gets a decent internet connection. Anyway, that's lots of fun things that are happening. I'm everywhere. We've just finished doing the Obi-Wan walkthrough with Ian at Cult Connections. Man, that's the best Star Wars we've had.
Good finish.
Since anything. Yeah, absolutely. No spoilers for our listeners, of course.
No.
And you'll get me semi-regularly on Hallmark of Greatness After Dark until Joe decides to kick me off. Having a great time. Where we talked about that 2000s Dungeons and Dragons film recently.
Oh my God. Jesus,
that's an abomination.
It shouldn't have been.
Abomination. Great episode, I thought, anyway.
Yeah, it's like Dragonheart 2. It should never exist.
Never seen it, never will. Like Blues Brothers 2000. Anyway, tell your friends, tell them about us, tell us how good we are, tell them that we are better than film floggers. That will be the important thing. Please do tell them that. John, final words from you, the Jerry Springer of this podcast.
Oh, God. I was going to say, where's Steve, my big bouncer when I need him, but...
What, Bouncer the dog? Bouncer's dream?
Oh, don't. Last episode of Neighbours and everything. Well enough. Talking about getting emotional, thinking about Neighbours theme tune. But no, guys, it's good to be back. I feel as if we've been away for a while, so thank you so much for tuning back in again, and we'll try and keep it as regular as my abolitions.
Yeah, we're back regular now. We're not hanging around. Fantastic. John, cheers. Listeners, we love you. We've missed you. We're back and all brand new. Come on, Hurt. That's all right. But from now, it's been 100 things we learned from Equilibrium. See ya.
See you guys.